Welcome to the bush. I'm here at my mom and dad's pond, and tonight I'm going to be camping on this pontoon boat. We're going to do some fishing, we're going to cook up some fish, and it's going to be a great day in the bush. Well, it's time for a step 2, do a little fishing. Oh! Well, let's see if we can't catch our supper tonight. Gonna have supper with mom and dad, and we're going to see if we can't catch something. This pond is full of bass and bluegill, and there's some catfish in here too. But I'm going to start off with a lure. I grew up fishing this pond. This is where I grew up. This is the fishing rod and reel that my Uncle Ed gave me. He was a big time fisherman. He caught a lot of good fish. Open face reel, see what we can do. We caught a lot of bass on these little minnow lures. Oh, had a bite already. There's my dad over there. He's throwing out a line. Blackberries. Good stuff. So here we are, hanging out in Mom and Dad's garden. I had absolutely no luck fishing. They're fixing supper. I believe they're frying fish from another fishing day. So this goes to show, though, if you're out in a survival situation and you're trying to rely on, if you think you're just going to catch your supper, there are days where the fish just don't bite. There are more days where they don't bite than they do. So just remember that. Like, your best way is to run bank lines, trot lines, different things like that. Things that you can just go check. Trapping is always a better means of food procurement than hunting. Always remember that. If you can trap something while you're gone and just come collect it, that's easy versus chasing it down. Same with fishing. You got one rod and reel all day, you're catching nothing. But if you got 20 hooks out there, you're likely to have something. So in a survival situation, that's the way to go. But we're just having fun today. But anyway, with Mom and Dad's garden. Got some blackberries. Got some grapes over here. And got some maters. They got some beans. Lots of beans, green beans, Christmas limas, I think those are. And potatoes, rhubarb. And I think they call them creeping onions. They're going to give me a start for those. But pretty cool setup. My dad's starting to do a rainwater collection system, it looks like. This is pretty cool. I'm wondering where he got this. I'm going to have to ask him about this. This is pretty great. That's, gosh, 1,000 gallons. No, 200, 300 gallons. 1,000 liters. But obviously he's going to be running his downspouts into this and using that to run some lines over to the garden, which is right there. Perfect. You know, I never realized it until now. Now that I'm starting to get into this homesteading, self-reliant, sort of a backwoods home magazine style lifestyle, right? I never realized that I grew up this way. My mom and dad have always been this way. You know, they've got well water. He's collecting rainwater. Always grew a garden. Always went fishing. We always lived this sort of self-reliant lifestyle. I didn't even realize that I was raised this way. Then I became an adult, you know, and you just become dependent on the system, the setup. And then coming back here to mom and dad's house and visiting them and seeing how they do things, I realized that I was raised a lot more self-reliant than what I realized.
Well, I think that's it.
Looks good.
It's not very fancy.
There you go. Oh, looks pretty good. We're about to feast here. Got some fish, zucchini casserole, is that what you call that?
Yeah.
It's made like Italian.
And macaroni and cheese.
Oh man, this looks amazing. And lemonade.
And melba toast.
Well, I'm glad I didn't have to rely on the pond for supper tonight. At least today. I know those came from the pond.
Yeah, he caught those Sunday.
So these came from the pond on Sunday, which was 3 days ago. And then the zucchini came from your garden, right?
Right. And all the garlic that's in everything came out of the garden.
And the garlic, yeah. Oh man, this is amazing. You overdid it.
Oh, cats are disappointed.
Well, that most certainly was some good eating. Time to set sail again. Got me a little bass. All right, there's a start. Well, not the greatest day fishing, but that one bluegill's nice.
Yeah.
But got about six or seven. But enough that we wouldn't starve.
Yeah.
If we was in a survival situation.
Yeah.
Ooh. What a cool and unique idea. I've had this idea in my head since I very first started doing it in the bush. I wanted to do it last year and it just never happened. But this year, it's happening. Now, it is mid-July already. And the weatherman said that it was supposed to be relatively dry this week. Atmospherically, it was supposed to be low dew points, low relative humidity, and it was earlier today. And then some clouds came over and it sprinkled a little rain, and then all of a sudden it was like this wave of humidity came in. It's about 70 degrees right now, 72, something like that, but it is just humid. It's so humid that like everything's wet. All my blankets and stuff are like wet, and it's all just from having a high dew point. We've already reached the dew point, so water is just collecting on everything, and so it's going to be a real challenge to sleep tonight. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not going to get a good night's sleep. I'm absolutely not going to get a good night's sleep. I'm prepared for that. I'm willing to sacrifice that, because when do you get a chance to do something this cool? I mean, how awesome is that? Tonight is a supermoon, and it's supposed to be the brightest supermoon of the year. So it's kind of hiding behind some trees right now, but I'm hoping it rises up a little bit and reflects off the water and shines off the water. But we hung out inside with Mom and Dad. It's 11 o'clock p.m. and I just got out here and finally set sail. So I'm gonna sit out here and enjoy the evening, and then 1 or 2 in the morning I'm gonna head into my tent. So that's kind of the plan. I'm just gonna try to get my zen right now and just really enjoy nature. You gotta love those sounds. The sounds of summer. Gotta love it. On the pontoon, it's just hotter than balls out here still. I'm so hot. Oh, this is not good. Not a good camping situation. Smoke on the water, rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. Mississippi Queen, you know what I mean. Mississippi Queen taught me everything. Let's see. Oh, I know, I got one. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. He was a good friend of mine. I never understood a single word he said, but I helped him drink his wine. Yeah, he always had some mighty fine wine. He said, go to the world, to all the boys and girls, join the fishes in the deep blue sea, join the you and me. That one goes out to you, Jeremiah. Let's see, what else? Water songs. Creedence Clearwater. Clearwater. They probably got several. Well, I'm having fun out here jamming. Hopefully I'm not keeping my parents up. Their house is just up the hill from the pond here. It's not too far. I keep drifting to shore here over to this swampy area. So I'm probably going to have to turn on the trolling motor and troll out a little bit. But the prevailing winds are like 3 miles an hour. Anyway, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is a lot of people are saying to me they're like, dude, you're a musician. And they automatically assume that I recorded the music for the intro and for the outro for In the Bush. That's not so. And a lot of people are like, dude, you need to make your own music for it, your own theme song and everything. And I will. But the thing is, I got to get more views. As of the making of this video, these In the Bush videos, I'm lucky to get 100 views. So it's just not worth my time, because I would have to spend several days in the studio. Granted, I have a home studio, I can do it, but I would have to spend several days in the studio recording just a theme song. I need to see, you know, up around 500 views a video, and unfortunately that's just not happening. I'm basically getting less than 100 views unless I have Jared Harness in my video, in which case I get like 3,000 views. So maybe I'll just have Jared Harness in all my videos. Maybe that's the trick. I don't know. I don't know what the secret is. I've watched a lot of videos on like how to make it on YouTube, how to make it on Rumble, and it's just not working. I'm just not getting the views. And I mean, you know, for out there, that's everybody says don't give up, you know, keep trying, you're gonna make it, blah blah blah. I don't know if that's possible. I mean, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but I just don't know if it's possible. So that's kind of where I'm at. So as long as these videos are not getting a bunch of views, then, I mean, it's really pointless for me to continue. I've been doing this for a while now, and it's kind of really actually pointless for me to continue doing it. But I do, because, like I said, I'm doing it for myself. And I'm going to continue doing it. I don't really care about the views, but there are some diehards. There are some diehard In the Bush fans that are still with me. I thought I was taking off for a little bit there, but it was like YouTube put it in the algorithm for a little bit, and then it just like took me right back out. I went from like, I was getting like a couple videos, I got like 500 on one, 600 views, then I got 1,000 on one, and I had Jared Harness in the bush with me, and I got almost 3,000 views on that video. That is as of now. This is mid-July, so that's as of now. So if you're watching this later, this obviously could totally change. So as far as how much effort I will put in is a direct result of, you know, how many views I'm getting. So if I'm getting up around 500 views a video on average, then I will do a theme song. But until then, it's just not worth my time. So more on that later. More on that later. But I got to get some views before I'm going to do something like that. We've washed to shore. The wind has picked up just a little bit. And when I say just a little bit, I mean like 1 mile an hour. So anyway, I'm going to put the guitar away and try to get over to the other side of the pond. You know, I thought that a bass pale ale would be good, considering I caught a bass today. Caught two. Caught one in the pond, caught this one out of my cooler. Of course, some chips and salsa. Can't go wrong with that for a midnight snack. And I am just about to retire to my tent. But before I retire to my tent, so I was originally gonna drift free. That was my plan. But when the sun comes up in the morning, this pond isn't entirely shaded over. So in order to be more comfortable in the morning, I'm going to tie off on the east side of the pond where the trees will block the sun in the morning and the heat, and I can sleep in a little bit better. My mom and dad suggested I tied off to the dock, but I found this spot around the corner here. There's a stump. Thinking about just throwing the rope over that and calling it good. I think that will provide the most tree cover for the best sleeping. But we'll see. Mom and dad get up about 6 a.m. So they're going to be watching the pond to see if I'm up or not. And I really don't know what to expect. Well, that went quite well. As soon as my head hit that pillow, I was out. I slept fairly solidly until the sun started beating in, and then the sun went behind the trees and I slept some more. So I really can't complain. You know, sometimes you get an okay sleep when you're camping and sometimes you don't, but today's was an okay sleep. I thought it was going to be horrible, but I'm feeling pretty decent. I don't feel like running a marathon, but I definitely feel okay considering the humidity and everything. It cooled off enough last night that it got reasonably comfortable, and the humidity actually dropped a little bit, so my blankets weren't all clammy and everything like I thought they were going to be. Well, thanks everybody for watching another good episode of In the Bush. We'll get this pirate ship packed up and get out of here. We'll see you next time.